all, see failure in front of us. And if we know how to use that as energy to keep moving versus to bring us down to where we just don't think we can do anything and, not become who we are, especially an entrepreneur, even people that are rejected out from a job. It's like, obviously that job was not for you because there's something better. Hi, everybody. Ageless Ambitions on luxemediastudios in the heart of Hollywood. You know what? I have this friend. I can't say enough about him. He's just like all over social media, and he's like a go-to guy. He gets things done. He's an entrepreneur. He just became a pilot. I'm so excited to hear about that. And, you've done so many things. You've been in TV yourself. And let's just talk about Alan Semsar. How are you?
Christy Buss, how are you?
I'm actually very good.
I
just got
love it.
back. Hey, I just got back from visiting my mom, who just turned 89. So
Wow.
It was a great weekend. She's a pit fire. Like, she can just keep moving and grooving. And it was just such a great weekend. So, I know you think a lot about my family and everything. So I just wanted to let you know
Thank
that
you.
she's a birthday girl.
See, now I know where you get it from.
Oh, yeah. I feel pretty good about that, by the way. So, good genes. Let's go. So I want to talk about you. So,
there's so much,
I know.
I started everything. I wanted to go to medical school years ago, right? That's 30 years ago. I got into school. I didn't like it. I knew it wasn't for me. So I left. And then there was this period of like confusion on what do I do with myself? And, I was 22, maybe 23. So I don't know if I had a lot of self-direction. There was definitely a lot of direction from parents and people that are older than me what to do. Everybody says, what? Go be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer or something like that, right? But there's better careers than that.
Parents always want that. It's like, can you be a lawyer? Can you be a doctor? And like, there's just so many other things in this world to, aspire to. So
that is so true. Look at what you do. Look at what so many other people do out there. There's so many careers and there's so many paths. There's so many pathways to get to those career paths. Anyway, and I'm not a big believer in college, but I've done a ton of college. I have a degree in molecular genetics. I have an MBA from Pepperdine.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. That's why I love doing these shows. I've been around you for so many years, so many times, and I know nothing about this.
Well, here we go. I'm going to give you the whole.
Okay, let me see. You have a degree in molecular science?
The reason I got that master's degree, the first one, was because I left medical school and I didn't really know what to do. And the only thing I knew was the progression of school, right? So you follow that. Anyway, I was pretty sad and kind of depressed and lots of loans from college back then.
Don't you hate that?
What's that?
Don't you hate that?
Totally. It's like the worst situation.
Yes. And everybody in the world is doing that. Like,
I had to move back in with my parents because there's no income, right? You're back in school and you have these loans. So it's kind of a really bad situation. Anyway, my brother back then, Christy, he was a pizza delivery guy for this place in Studio City, which was epic pizza. It was the best pizza.
Wait, where are you
ever.
from, though? Are you from LA?
No, I'm originally from Iran. I'm an immigrant.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
had
moved
a couple
here.
guests from Iran.
Oh,
it's so crazy.
Listen,
I think
we're
I'm
everywhere.
Like,
we are everywhere because
so
we couldn't live in our country. We had to leave.
Exactly.
Anyway, when I saw my brother as a pizza delivery guy, and he was so happy and so content, he was so happy with life. I saw him carrying a box of pizza by my room, and I'm like, what are you happy about? You're a pizza delivery guy making nothing. Back then it was like $6 an hour or something. Anyway, he had done a course called the Landmark Forum. I did that course. And in that course, that's where I found out that I really want to be creative in my life. And that's where I started my marketing creative company back then.
Because you're a marketing guru.
Right. And
a genius.
I spend my whole time, my whole life.
You need to work with me more. I've been trying to get you to help me, but actually I'm doing really, really good. But we're going to get together on this because I want it on my show, my QVC. I want it on all these kind of things. We got to get going. But anyway, keep going. Marketing genius.
So I went and I did this class, and that's where I started my whole company. And I did an event. I did a first event. Mm-hmm. And that event, Cirque du Soleil donated a performance. And a couple of alcohol companies donated alcohol, like a sponsorship. And my family made food for 200 people.
Wow.
The event turned out so well. My brother-in-law came up to me in the middle of the event. He goes, dude, you need to do this for a living. And I'm looking at him going, you are a crazy man. This is not me. You know, I had studied math and science my whole life. That's irrelevant to this thing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, about a year later, guess what? I'm in the business of events and marketing.
And that's how I met you.
That's it.
Because you
I created 20 food and wine festivals around the country.
How many did you do?
20 food and wine festivals around the country.
Wow.
And they were going on for over a decade, more than a decade. And I slowly, did more marketing work, right? That's when I went to Pepperdine, got my MBA in marketing so I can be an official marketing person. And it's fun.
Really, it's about hands-on stuff more than going to school, right?
It really is. And a lot of the world, as I've learned, it's more about who you know
experience
and relationship building.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you want to go watch the Los Angeles Lakers, what do? You call Christy Buss. Right? Because then you have the super VIP experience.
And you've been there a couple times, FYI.
I sure have with you. Yes, and your amazing ring.
Yes, I have to like that.
Taking pictures with that ring.
This is my workout every day, by the way.
I love that thing. It's like 30 pounds.
Yeah, it is. It is. But so marketing, So the food and wine, are you still involved with that? Or are you just kind of weeding out and doing more into the marketing? Because I see you on Facebook and Instagram on these amazing jets. I see you traveling around the world, and I'm like, wait, where was the call? I'm supposed to be there too.
I'll be calling tomorrow. So you know what happened was I had always wanted to be a pilot since I was a kid. My earliest memory, Christy, of myself was I was pretending like I'm a pilot, and my mom had made this little tray of like hot dog and bread cut up like a meal you get on an airplane.
Yes.
And that's my first memory of myself. And I always wanted to be a pilot. Well, when the pandemic hit.
Which you couldn't do any more food and wine, right? It was just like, what the hell? What are we going to do?
Not only did it shut that down, but it bankrupted the events, the individual events.
Seriously? Wow.
Right? So there was nothing we could do anymore. And I kind of did some soul searching. I called a lot of friends and I said, what do I do with myself? That business is dead. It was going to be dead.
Ageless Ambitions.
I know.
This is what the shows are like. You were so good at so many things, but we still need to be ageless and ambitious, no matter how much we've done in our past. We still have to.
I mean, a part of my internal conversation, Christy, was you're 48, you're old, you can't do anything.
Oh.
Right? So I signed up for aviation school.
Wow.
And I became a pilot. And in that process, I started converting all my marketing skills to aviation marketing.
Nice.
And now 90% of what I do is aviation marketing.
I see you. Yeah, I did. That's why I wanted to get you on the show. I'm like, I know you as the food and wine. I see you on TV, promoting these things, and now it's just all aviation. So that's exciting. I mean, I know you do other kind of marketing too. Yeah. Because I know you work with a friend of mine, I think, on some things. But so how is that?
The world of aviation is great because
how did you hook yourself up with certain airlines it's private jets, right?
Private jets. I'm only in the business of private jets. So I don't do the commercial airlines.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with commercial airlines, but I think I personally like private jets more than anything.
I would, if I knew somebody, I would be on a private jet.
Well, now you know me. You got to call me and we'll fly.
Okay.
So what I did was I went back to how I used to do things.
Okay.
Maybe it's not the easiest way, but I got my credit card. I bought myself flights, and I got myself admission into the conventions and trade shows, aviation conventions, trade shows. and I put on my best suit. You know how I
You
dress up,
always wear your
suit, bow
tie,
tie.
your bow tie.
And I got on the planes and I flew to these conventions. Now, mind you, it's COVID time. So some of them are not happening. Some of them are happening outside. Yeah, wearing a mask everywhere you're going. So I went in and I walked in and I said, look, this is what I've been doing. I'm a marketing guy. I'm now coming into the world of aviation. And it wasn't easy as a 50-year-old to do that. It's a little, not soul crushing, but it's a little deflating. I think it deflates your confidence of yourself and who you are. But I put on my best suit, the best shoes, and I
Never
went
show
from
anything but your best when you're
booth to booth in the conventions. I didn't skip one. I went to every single one, told them who I am. One of them even kicked me out.
really.
They literally walked me out of their booth and they said, thank you.
Wow.
There was some that laughed. I don't know if it was a matter of my age or the fact that I was wearing a funny bow tie or, they basically laughed me out.
It didn't stop you.
It didn't stop me. And I just went to another one and another one. And I went without hotel rooms. I went without any idea of what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And finally, someone took a chance on me. Now, I say they took a chance on me, but they saw my character and my ability in marketing, right? I mean, if you Google me, I've been on every single TV station in the United States, mm-hmm. from LA stations to San Francisco, San Diego, Miami, New York, right? So I'm sure these people did their searching of who is this guy. And it's nice to be able to present. When you get on TV, I think you learn how to present yourself to people.
I agree.
To audiences, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It gives you a special skill that most people don't have. Now, not everyone is good with that. I am blessed with that skill. I'm also blessed with having a pretty good voice.
Yes, you do have a good voice.
That does help with when you're communicating with or you're having meetings.
Right.
And once I got my first client, I just used that client to roll into another one and another one in the business.
And the thing is, you were rejected, and people, like people that watch this show, and hopefully people that can resonate this situation, is that we all see failure in front of us.
Absolutely.
And if we know how to use that as energy to keep moving versus to bring us down to where we just don't think we can do anything and,
right.
Not become who we are, especially an entrepreneur. Even people that are rejected out from a job, it's like, obviously that job was not for you because there's something better. And if people
That's
can
correct.
only, if we can only see that, then we're going to be okay. Because it's like, we need to keep growing and going and growing and going. It just never stops. And to hear this message from you saying that, hey, they even kicked you out of the booth, for God's sake. I mean, but it just took one person to take a chance on you, and then it can roll into so many other things. So I'm so happy for you because, you're a go-getter. You don't stop. You didn't stop with me.
No. I mean, how much persistence did it take to meet you? Quite a bit.
Yes,
maybe a year or so.
Yeah.
But the same thing applies to everything I do. When I say the word you, I should replace that with the word I. A lot of the things that I do is now I don't become aggressive, but I also don't quit if it's something that I want.
That's a good way to say it, because persistence is not, over a persistence person, meaning that you will try and keep trying until you feel like it's just gone. But to see that, you won't give up on the first try, or even the second try, even the third. You got to see that it's okay to, not keep pursuing, keep living.
Well, let me paint a small picture here, and I think this will communicate to people listening or watching the video. Is imagine I was a guy that was on TV every single week, if not multiple times, at least once a week, right? Mm-hmm. And I had these great projects that everybody wanted to be involved with. You name it, from BMW, Lamborghini, Porsche, to alcohol companies like Patron, all the vodka companies like Kettle One. Everybody wanted to be part of the things that I did, not only the festivals, but also in the marketing, what we're doing, right? Mm-hmm. I went from that to a guy that's walking through a trade show, completely rejected by people, right? But I think that's where it all comes together. It's that point where most people, and when I say most, I'm going to say 90% of people quit, right? And look, I'm not a motivational speaker, but that's where people quit. They quit right before success happens. And I knew that in my head. No matter, I wanted to cry. Literally, a 50-year-old man in a convention, I wanted to cry. And it was one of the biggest companies in the world that kicked me out of their booth. And if I told you the name, you'd be shocked. But they walked me out of their booth. Two of the guys, they shoulder by shoulder, they walked me out. And I wanted to break down. And I said to myself, you know what? This is nothing. Success is the next step. Good. And honestly, it was maybe an hour after that when I met my first client. Mm-hmm. Because when I was 16 or 17, maybe even 20, early 20s, I would have just gone home.
And that's interesting because, people that are young kids, that it's all social media in this, like in the 20s and that, and they're so beat down by, perfection and all that. And to know that it's just not like that. It's a facade. Like, we make things bigger and better based on wanting people to think that that's what it's happening, but for the most part. And then so people are just really getting depressed and down at an early age based on, but it's the communication of saying that everything's going to be okay and keep trying. In fact, I sold my dance studio. I had it for 28 years and I sold it to my assistant. And the first thing she says is, I don't think I can do it. I said, I raised you. I gave you the ability to, do this. You can do it. And not only is she doing it, she's doing it her way. And I'm seeing so much success for her, but she didn't think she could do it, Yeah. And so it just takes confidence from yourself to believe in yourself, but it also takes that mentor or those people surrounding you to make sure that it's all going to be okay if you keep persisting, like you said, keep driving yourself and going for it. So this message today is so amazing because, life is so short and, we go through our ups and downs and people just think that they only see the people that are succeeding, but all those people that have succeeded have failed probably numerous times. That acting job that Brad Pitt got finally, he probably didn't get 100, calls Absolutely. To, but they don't see that. They only see the success. And so.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candace Barr, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
There's also one other thing, when we measure our success, we look at the world and we only see Bill Gates, right? Or we'll only see the president of the United States. Or that is not really how the world really is, because there's billions of human beings there. And you cannot compare yourself to the top 10 billionaires in the world. That's the wrong way to go, because you will fail. Now, on the other side of that, you want to surround yourself with people that have those skills. And I was very lucky when I was younger, someone told me that. So I went and I put the best people next to me as possible. I found John Paul DeJoria, who is the co-creator of Paul Mitchell, the hair care company. He's also the co-founder of Patron, Ultimate Vodka. I mean, some of the biggest brands that are around you. And now, these are not my best friends. They were maybe available on a 2-sentence email, but it was just enough from, you got one here, you got one, and another one, and another one. You get just enough tidbits from people where they show you what to do and they kind of walk you through this. But underneath all of them is the story of perseverance and not giving up. What really inspired me when I was younger was, John Paul DeJoria. He lived in his car with his kid and he had to go to Acapulco to eat because he had no money. That's really incredible when you hear stories like that from people. And I've become super billion. I mean, he's a billionaire with a B. You really learn, you get perspective on how amazing your life is and what you could really do. If that man from the back of his car created Paul Mitchell and then Patron and all the other brands, right? You can do anything you want. It's really simple. It's just a matter of not giving up. And unfortunately, the world of business isn't built that way. The world of business is built like a dome, and they have doorkeepers, gatekeepers, so you can't get in. You have to keep hitting this wall until you find a hole and you get through. So if there is a message to give to people, is never give up, because you'll get what you want. And if it's something coming from me, is go after your passion as early as I can, because I wish I could go after being a pilot when I was 17. My life would be completely inspired, right? It would be completely different.
Well, obviously it was meant to be for a reason, even though that the inspiration was there and you should have gone for it.
Yeah.
What you've gotten out of it now is something very special because, we always want to try to keep our lives moving at an age that we don't think that we can. So it's kind of inspirational to know that at 50, at 60, whatever, we can still make changes to our lives and still look forward to things that, turn over a new leaf and do something new. And that's okay. You don't have to be your 17 or 18 to inspire to do what you want to do.
Right.
And so that's a message too in itself, even though it would have been probably exciting. Obviously it happened for you for a reason because,
right.
You are who you are right now. So anyway, I'm just so thankful. I don't know what else you want to maybe talk about in terms of what you're in your future, what you would like to do, maybe own your own jet. I don't know, but
I mean, that's definitely on the list. By the way, I'm not stopping my education.
Oh, okay.
I'm still studying another level of the business of aviation and being a pilot, because there's so many different levels and degrees you can get. Just like in the field of medicine, you could go to medical school and then become a surgeon and a specialist, and keep moving up and up.
Keep moving up. Mm-hmm.
So, education is key, important, I think, to give access. Is it absolutely necessary? No, I think it creates access to different things. Once you figure out what it is you want to do, you have to get educated in that field.
Right. Like me with the skincare, because I had to go back to school a little bit for that. Like I got a certificate of, education for skincare consulting because I didn't want to not know what I was talking about.
Right.
So, but I mean, I danced all my life, but I knew that I just couldn't, evolve into this new adventure unless I knew what I was doing. And so, I mean, as a celebrity person, you think that I'm going to just endorse a line, but I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to make sure that if you ask me a question, I can answer your question, so that's important.
And you are a story of complete transformation and how transformation works, because, you went from, the first time you called me about Hito, I was like, what is she doing? That has nothing to do with her career, right? Or her path. But that is a complete transformation story. You went from dance and
choreography, TV,
to
all that,
cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most competitive fields in the world.
And guess what? It's going very well.
Fantastic.
I mean, I can't even keep up with it right now. So we went viral, and it's been crazy ever since. So I'm blessed, and like you said, you can't give up. And it was a rough 2 years to transform into this and know that I wasn't selling myself anymore. Because I used to sell myself because I'm a dancer, right? And I could teach kids, I could teach choreography through me. But this is a product, and a product is so much different in the business world. And boy, did I have an awakening and like, wow, this is so different. I mean, when I was marketing, I went door to door and put flyers on doorknobs,
How it works.
And so this is like, whoa, Facebook ads, this, that, and the other. It's like, wait, I know nothing. So yeah, you have to really start over on some levels based on your, whatever you want to transform into.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been awakening, and it's been a challenge, but hard work pays off, and that's what you're talking about. And I'm telling you, I had to do that. But the message out there for all of you is, guide yourself to whatever, obviously Alan said, and it's your passion. Whatever passion you have, just go for it, because it's going to happen if you believe in what you're doing. And so I'm so thankful for you, Alan, for giving us an insight into, seeing how you could be going to school as a doctor and this and that, and knowing that that's not really what you wanted, but you still, have that background, but you just developed yourself from somebody, your brother, holding a pizza thing,
Yeah.
So we can do it. We can do it. Is there anything else you would like my audience to know? Because this is so special. I know you love Hito.
Yeah.
I know you've tried Hito, and I want to do
amazing product. Look, there's no secret formula to success. Just like your product, you have a good product, and then you stand behind it. Just you could be the person. You're a good product personally, and then you stand behind it, and you work until you get success, or you work for a product or a company, and you create your own success. However it is, it all works. You don't have to be a small business owner or your own independent thing. You could work for Capitol Records right behind you, right? You could own that building in a second. So that's the world of being fulfilled with who you are. But I never lost sight of gratitude. Just being grateful for every moment. And I have a higher power. I call God. I believe in God. And I knew God was going to walk me through everything. That's really important. Just knowing that everything is going to be okay as long as you do the work. No one else can do the work for you. And you will have some more success than you know what to do. I mean, you can come fly one of the jets and ride one of the yachts. I think that's super happiness for me.
We should do a little story on that, do a little piece on that. And for sure, I'm going to get some information of whatever plane you're, sponsoring, and the marketing for that. We'll put that on here so that they know that you're doing that, and whatever else you want, all your Instagram, Facebook, and stuff. But I'm so thankful for you to be here today. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you for being a friend.
Yes.
And an entrepreneur. It takes a lot to be an entrepreneur, and I love that.
Everybody, Ageless Ambitions on Lux Media Studios. Thank you, Alan, for being here. And you guys, I can't wait for you to watch this episode and all our other ones.